Hey, greetings. What's going on, guys? I don't have a lot of time today. So much shit's been going on. I'll make another video kind of updating what's going on with my current circumstances to why not so many videos may come out or why I might seem distracted at times. Who knows? But I'll make another video at some point, maybe today or tomorrow, on that situation. But I wanted to talk today a little about the alt-right, the kind of trap it lays for people maybe kind of like on the fence about it, and how some people get caught up in it, and I guess a little bit with the ridiculous red pill term. Now, I'm not alt right. I'm not alt left either. Not on the left, not on the right. I mean, I guess I'm more of like, I just consider myself kind of a libertarian. I'm not an anarchist. I'm not an ANCAP or anything like that. Definitely not an authoritarian. I just believe people should do whatever the fuck they want, as long as it's not hurting anyone. That's the general statement of my overall views. But there's a couple things I am really truly against, and that is identity politics, collectivism, and I guess those would be the main two. So, because I'm a huge individualist, I believe. Now, I understand the reasons why a collective might be formed. One man couldn't build the pyramids, so to speak, or one man couldn't build Rome. It takes a collective, not necessarily a collective identity, but a collective set of values, a collective goal. That's what sets a collective apart from just a collective identity. And that's where I think communism tends to fall into the cracks, because there's a lot of people out there who feel comfortable identifying with the collective, but what they don't realize is that it's really fucking up their own personality. They're losing their own identity. They're becoming something else, like a hive mind situation, almost literally. And I see this happening more and more, kind of with some alt-right folks. Now, I've watched. I don't know any personal alt-right people. I've never talked to some of these people. It'd be interesting to talk to some of these people, but I've never talked to anyone on the alt-left either. I don't know real life crazy SJW, but that's besides the point. On the left, I will say, there's a problem on the left because a lot more people are identifying with the collective instead of as the individual, and they aren't realizing that the strength of the individual, the strength of one's individual personality and persona, is equivalent, or I guess adds to the strength of the collective as a whole. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, so to speak, and the same goes for the alt-right. There's not as much, but I'm starting to see it more and more. People are tending to identify with an identity rather than a set of values or like a goal. There's no point in identifying with an identity, with a group identity. What's the point? I understand the comfort, maybe a set of values, or just kind of like fuck around and get some common goals in mind. But if you're really truly identifying with a collective, then there's a problem. And no matter where you're at, the right is guilty of this. Not the alt-right, that is, the further you go, because they're playing with like white nationalism, ethno-nationalism. Civic nationalism's different. I'm not going to talk about it here, but more or less talking about the ethno-nationalists, thinking, oh, well, the Jews got their own state, why don't we get ours? It's like, well, there's a lot of reasons. Now, I say that doesn't mean I am for like pro-immigration or pro-extreme diversity. I believe everyone in this society needs to have a similar set of values, and that's very important. Collectivists don't belong here, or at least they should be deprogrammed. Now, a lot of times I'll see in their videos, they'll lay the chip, oh no man, I've been red pilled, I see the value, and with identity, it's super important, and if white people go, so does the values. And it's like, well, no, you're playing the race game. Values don't come from race. Values come from your culture and your own personal individualism. You have to be the one to come up with your own culture. That should be everyone's goal, is to make your own personal culture. Now, yes, a lot of minorities do tend to identify as collectives, and I'm not saying they should be let in. Like I just said, collective identity is cancer. Essentially needs to be fucking rooted out, and it goes on the left as well. So people being let in that do tend to lean towards that need to be let in a lot fewer numbers, need to be very integrated straight away. They can't just be led around to monger in their own societies and cancer their children and more people and build their own little class. It's stupid. No. You don't also want to be that guy that's like, oh, well, okay, we're going to form a white state because white people are being discriminated against. And it's like, well, yes, we're seeing a lot of bullshit happen to the white people, and that's because the people on the left are playing identity politics. Now, the correct response is not to jump into that same boat. It's not to jump into that same game and just throw the same stupid argument back at them. Well, fine, maybe we'll just go form our own country. It's like, no, we have a country, and it's not necessarily a white nation. Yes, we have a white majority. Yes, the white majority was more significant in the past, but that doesn't mean it's a white nation. We are a nation. We are Americans. Whatever your fucking skin color is, if you don't consider yourself an American, then you don't belong here. That's just how it should work, you know. That's why the argument with some leftists or maybe like some Muslim groups forming their own little enclaves. No, don't do that. You need to integrate. If you really want to be here, you need to integrate and participate. That's how it works. The strength of the chain is as strong as the weakest link, and those are the weakest links because they don't believe in the same values. They've got a different culture. They believe many different things. I see it a lot with the black community too. Not all of them, obviously. I've met some great black people, and I know everyone's got that excuse. So I'm not racist. I've got a black friend. But it does seem to be a bit more prominent within their little society, especially within the inner cities. They don't identify as an individual. I think it's more or less because they're scared of identifying with the individual. They've never been. It's almost like you got to be trained or told how to go through, because it's not necessarily an easy process. Really looking into yourself and getting who you are and what you are out of yourself. It's hard. And a lot of people are scared of that, and instead it makes it easier to just identify with the collective. I see it on the right too. They're not trying. They're not looking into the facts. They're just mumbling about how they think things should be and how they feel. And it's bullshit no matter where it comes from. Anyway, that's all for now. Peace.